started seeing changes very early on in my own practice, patients, and my community. I started seeing how quickly people were changing their behavior and attitudes towards one another. And I just kept practicing medicine lawfully and ethically. I was working in the hospital in my community as well as my own private practice. And I saw some very cruel treatment of patients, their families, and others may not describe it as cruel because they feel it might be necessary, but I do in fact describe it as cruel if you look up the definition of cruelty. I saw some unethical actions and experienced them myself. I was coerced aggressively to change a death certificate in a patient who passed away of cancer. They wanted me to change it to COVID. And so there was so much happening that it really was sickening to my stomach. I couldn't participate in that environment anymore in that hospital. So I resigned my privileges, and they were mandating things, and I had asked questions, and I was being attacked for asking questions in my own profession of medical science. I was on a podcast and I had expressed what had happened to me in the hospital and the experiences that I had professionally. The chief of staff at the hospital was quite upset by that. One of my community patients had been hospitalized right around that same time, who previously had an organ transplant, and so he was considered to be immunocompromised. He had an exemption, but nobody saw the exemption. He didn't tell them it was from me, and it was assumed that it was from me. And after the chief of staff found out about this podcast, he then used that as an opportunity, in my mind, to send in a complaint to the registrar of the college, alleging and assuming without any evidence that I wrote this exemption. Again, these are guideline statements. I knew that they were because they were only based on guidance from NACI and from the government itself, the Ministry of Health. So the college attempted to raid my office for any and all patient files that they wished or at their whim. And I wasn't even aware of any investigation against me. I declined them coming into my office and was able to speak with Michael Alexander. Since that time, they have been absolutely not agreeable to answer my questions and my requests, that they provide me transparency and show me with due diligence and due process that they are in fact entering into an investigation against me in a lawful manner. They have limitations, the college. They can't just do what they want and raid doctors' offices and take private confidential information about patients. And they truly believe that they have that authority, or at least they act as if they do.